Good morning, everyone. Today, me and my team will be presenting about the food shortages that happened during the pandemic in Malaysia. So, basically, what we're going to talk about in this presentation is the causes, the effects, what can we do to solve them, and our conclusion about the per se topic. So, I will pass it on to my team member, which is going to present himself, and then he's going to talk about his topic next.
Hi, hello. My name is Shayan Zikir. I'm taking course SSK. Today, I would like to talk about the impact of COVID-19 on the economy in Malaysia, especially on the food supply chain. Yeah, the first thing, the causes of panic buying and storage level decline, I would like to say aloud. So, at the start of the break, the limited knowledge of the virus made people started panic buying in order to avoid the shortage of their necessity, especially food. Food shortage concern leading consumers to panic buy, which is resulting in demanding store shelves instead of preparing a shopping list after checking their food stock. Panic buying is a typical human reaction, as Grassroots said. The fear of scarcity is self-fulfilling, as the more people stockpile, the more others get infected with the panic, and leading the food runs out faster. According to the survey report as Face.ai show that consumers bought mainly groceries 97% in our country. Personal hygiene product 91% and household item 88%. Fashionable intelligent 2020. Consumers who purchase food do not normally stick to their shopping list and prefer to buy even more food in general out uncontrollable and compulsive buying things that they do not need. Yeah. So we need to be grateful if the stock still have in our supermarket. So yeah, and thanks to others too to buy their belongings and in our daily lives too. Therefore, the day before started MCO, people subconsciously stack up on the food. This behavior show excess inventory stores in homes due to the survival instinct of human typically contribute to food waste. So yeah, that is the first thing I would like to say out loud. The panic buying and storage level decline of causes impact food in COVID-19 in our country. So the second one I would like to talk about the effect of the unable to process sufficient amount of food in our country. So yeah, the COVID-19 has wreaked havoc on the food supply chain in Malaysia, disrupting agriculture, productivity, food production, transportation and logistics, and final demand all at the same time. Various goods have experienced delays at different points along the supply chain. Eagle 2019, most of the farmers even could not produce a minimum production level that makes the food supply drastically reduced. Example, the paddy industry in Malaysia is particularly important because the country import 30% only in our country of its total consumption from around the world. So lah, we like to continue throughout this pandemic. It has been demonstrated that emerging technology fertilization are required in order to increase production and become self-sufficient in paddy production as a country. However, paddy production is still efficient to meet demand the start 2019. In addition, the high rates of workers absent in agriculture sector decrease the ability of farmers or firms to produce sufficient food to the market. Yeah, it's hard were to go in the market because the things not going as well. So the planting materials and labour supply drop could hit harvest in the agriculture sector. So yeah, that's all for me for the effect unable to process sufficient amount of food in our country during the pandemic COVID-19. Oh yeah, thank you.
Okay, hello, madam and my fellow friends. My name is Kaliwakim Shairir. So today, I'm gonna talk about the effects of food shortage during pandemic. So if there's any interruption because I'm coughing, so sorry. Alright. Number one, wasted food in Malaysia during pandemic. While pandemic is because the perishable goods and home essentials are bought in bulk and left to go in waste. So the pandemic panics buying products negative as extensionalities on society. A shortage of food results from panic buying since it prevents another buyer from making a single purchase. Consumers are cooking more at home because restaurants are closed, which is increasing domestic food of waste. According to the study of SY by Corp Malaysia, Solid Waste and Public Cleansing Management Corporation, Dome section generation 44% of the 16,667.5 tons of food waste that are produced daily in Malaysia. So number 2, food unable to separate equally to all people. The government's movement restrictions causes transportations and logistics to be interrupted, making it difficult to distribute food fairly to everyone. The food was unable to go from the producing site to the market for consumers as a result. For instance, Kong explained that because they couldn't be transferred to other regions because of the MCO, the farmers in Cameron Highlands were throwing tons of recently picked veggies. As a result, according to Kong, it has been challenging to find the transportation service requiring to move the large and perishable food items. So, according to Malaysia Kini, several vegetable merchants and delivery truck drivers have stated they would prefer to stop their service than deal with these issues because of the various issues during pandemic. The guidelines established by authorities by NG Rabiza during 2020. That's all from me. But
Thank you, Khalid, for presenting the effects of food shortages in Malaysia during the pandemic. Now, I'll be talking about the ways to overcome it. Throughout the pandemic, there were several issues that we faced, namely being widespread food shortages that hit our country in a severe way as prices skyrocketed due to inflation. This is all due to the Ukraine and Russian war, which impacted prices all over the world. There are many ways to overcome food shortages in Malaysia during the pandemic. If the citizen were to take action, one of the way that we can take action is to implement a purchase limit in which customers are only able to purchase a limited amount of the said item. This would discourage people to overbuying a certain stuff, so that other people would also be able to purchase it. And another way that we can stop food shortages is that we can volunteer to help those in rural areas access our daily necessities by volunteering, giving them all the daily necessities, so that due to that they aren't able to get in town because they are quite far from the nearest town. By volunteering, we can support those who are really in need during the pandemic. And now I'll pass it on to Iskandar.
Okay, hi, I'm Iskandar. I will talk about the impact of COVID-19 on the economy in Malaysia, especially on the food supply. The COVID-19 pandemic has had a significant negative influence on the Malaysian economy, particularly the food supply chain, leading to a food scarcity. The lack of food will cause illnesses and malnutrition in people. People should accept responsibility for the realization of societal food shortage by minimizing food waste. A long-term solution, such as providing subsidies to the agriculture sector to boost production, should also be the government's goal. Therefore, everyone involved should work together to find a solution to this problem. As quickly as possible in the future, the most significant sectors, together with health, is essential to averting the food crisis and lessening effects on the world economy. Even while there haven't been any significant issues with the food supply network so far, the future is still up in the air. As a result, each nation must recognize the gravity of the situation, adjust its response to the pandemic progress. The supply chain should also be adaptable enough